Happy 2023, everyone. This is a video for people who just like always make plans, make these really big goals for themselves, but never stick to them, or are always like, oh well, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, and then it just never happens. Because that's me. So this year I am really trying to stick to my New Year's goals. So I made 50 for you guys. They're relatively, some are like specific to me, and they're not like super big goals, because I constantly see creators on TikTok or on Instagram being like, oh, how to be that girl, I did this, how to be like, basically have like the perfect 2023. But for me, that's not realistic. As much as I would love to be that girl, I would love to like drink green like kale smoothies every single day. That's not me. I have honestly a pretty low energy drive. Like once I go to work, I'm kind of like so I try to keep mine a little bit realistic, but also set some number goals for myself and some just general goals that I want to happen, that I can look back onto this year in December and be like, you know what, I actually made that happen. No matter how this year goes in the future, I was able to accomplish this thing that I set out to do. So I'm gonna get into that. Hopefully the lighting isn't too bad. I wanted to be in front of my Christmas tree, and it is currently storming outside. So, and hopefully my cat, I can see my camera like string hanging down. Hopefully he doesn't bother it, because strings are like his favorite thing. But I got my iPad right here, and we are just going to jump into them. So I actually, a bobby pin is stuck to my iPad. There he is. His name's Potter, by the way. He loves to lay under the Christmas tree. I made mood boards. I see everybody doing this, and I'm much like every other teenage girl. I love Pinterest. I've loved Pinterest since I was little. My mama was a big Pinterest person. So I made 2 mood goals, like vision boards, I guess, not mood goals, vision boards. I made 2 vision boards for myself. I made one for 2023, and just kind of putting all of my thoughts into pictures, and some inspiring quotes. And I made just an overall like future mood board, because my future goals are really, really powerful. I am currently in the gap year between my senior year and my freshman year of college, but I am going to school for med school. I'm going to be a surgeon, so kind of just keeping in mind that everything that I'm doing has an end, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is the reason why it's taking so long. This is the end all be all. So I'll put my 2023 one right here. It currently has some quotes, some of just like the general ideas that I have, and then I put up my future one right here. So I'm putting up my future mood board right here. Vision board, mood board, same thing. And this one is just kind of where I want my life to be in like 10-15 years from now. Like this is everything that I want, I guess. But I'm just a really visual person, and just making this kind of really motivated me and inspired me. So if you are a visual person like I am, or if you like the aesthetics of things, I definitely recommend doing it. It was a lot of fun. You can use Canva. I know a lot of people use Canva. I use Canva all the time for school projects. It's a free website. And then I use Pinterest, but I personally use Procreate just because it was on my iPad and it was just easier than pulling up Canva. But that's what I would recommend. I would recommend Canva and then Pinterest or Tumblr for those 2. So for my 2023 goals, I have 6 categories. I have fitness, finance, habits, social media, life, and languages, because those are kind of just like the big overarching themes that I had. Those were my big overarching themes for this year and goals that I wanted to do. So first category, which is fitness, my first goal is going to be able to run a 6:30 mile. Now, a few years ago when I was a lot more active, that was my actual highest mile, I think, was a 6:10. That was the fastest I ever got. And I definitely, in the past like year or 2, have moved away from the fitness part of myself, and I really do want to work on becoming a lot more active and getting into running more, because I used to run all the time and I just don't run like at all anymore. I'm pretty sure if I were to try to run a mile, I'd run like an 11-minute mile. I don't know, but my goal is to run a 6:30 mile. My second goal is to be able to do a press handstand. I did do cheer for a long time, so I could do a handstand on my own, but I cannot go from a sitting position into a press handstand. So being able to work on my flexibility from point A to point B and being able to have that direct milestone of this is the exact one that I want to do, I want to be able to do this exact skill, I think will work really nicely. It gives me like an end goal and something to work towards. So my third one is kind of just like an overarching goal, just because it's really expensive. So I used to do cheer. I graduated last year. That was my last year of cheerleading, and within like over COVID, I was not able to properly cheer. I flew, so because of all the COVID restrictions, I couldn't fly anymore. So I got into tumbling. But I do want to get back into the tumbling gym. It's just really expensive to do so. But definitely once like I had the finances for it, it's one of the goals of mine is being able to bring myself back into that state of fitness and being able to bring back those skills that I used to have. I used to be able to do not a lot because I didn't have a lot of time to practice over COVID, but I had a running round off back handspring. And that's like the main one that I want to do, and if possible I want a back tuck. I want to add a back tuck to it. So my fourth one, like most people for the new year, is being consistent with the gym. Again, I used to be really consistent. I used to go all the time, especially whenever I was active in cheerleading. I'm just not anymore. So for my fourth goal, it is getting consistent in the gym. I don't have a set date. Like I know some people say they want to go twice a week or 3 times a week. I would like to go 3 times a week. I just know myself, and I know that my goal is just to get myself back in there, and to get consistent with it, whatever that consistency may be. My fifth goal is to stretch more often. I can still get pretty low in my splits, but I did lose my splits just from not stretching and not from being active. Again, a lot of mine relate to consistency and cheerleading and bringing myself back up to the state of, I guess, fitness that I used to be. My sixth goal is quite unique. It is to learn the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders' Thunderstruck routine. Much like everybody, they are America's sweethearts. So it's just such an iconic dance and such an integral part of a lot of cheerleaders. We all know that dance. We all know how iconic it is. So I also think I'm probably going to dress up as a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader for Halloween. So it's just kind of, that's my goal, is to learn the Thunderstruck routine, start to finish. So yep, that completes all of my fitness goals. I had 6 for this year. They were quite lenient, but it's really just motivating myself and not setting extremely harsh guidelines that I know that I can't finish, because I know, for me personally, I set my goals really, really high and I never ever finish them. I never bring myself, like, I know for myself personally, I never finish my New Year's resolutions. I'm always really sad whenever it ends, whenever the new year ends, and I'm like, I never did this thing that I said that I was going to do. So by leaving my goals lenient but strong enough that they are all something that I'm invested in doing and I really want to do, I'm hoping will, you know, motivate me to actually pursue these goals and actually be happy with the results. So my second category is finances. So much like every other teenage girl, or most people actually, I have a really hard time saving money and controlling my finances. So this year I really, really want to be on top of that. So for my finance goals, my first one is to become financially literate. That means like understanding taxes, understanding where my money is going and how it's going, and just being able, being able to understand finances is a big one, because it's very hard to save money or set financial goals without understanding the literacy behind them. My 8th goal for this year is savings account, prioritizing my savings, prioritizing not spending money, just building up that, because as a person that's about to go into college, savings is crucial in everything that you do. So my 8th goal and my biggest one, it is underlined, savings account. So my 9th goal is to only make one self-purchase per month. Sometimes, I mean, that is not including, you know, necessities, but mostly like things that you splurge on. Like this time, because of Christmas, I splurged on a Lego set. Things like that. I don't typically make purchases for myself, but definitely working at Bath & Body Works does not help me at all. I'm like, oh, well, like, I could need this, I could want this, and this, and this. Only making one of those purchases per month just to help myself budget, help myself not spend as much money. Yeah, only making one self-purchase. So my 10th one is boosting my credit score. I'm freshly 18. I turned 18 in July, and I just got my first credit card in November, late November. So being able to just bring my credit score up and making myself with like confident financial decisions regarding my money and regarding credit is crucial for later on in life. So my 11th one is to create a proper budget, know where exactly my money is going, where I'm spending it, how many bills I have to pay each month or each pay period, just knowing exactly what is going in and out of my account and being able to control that and budget properly. I did like a money notebook one year, and that worked really well for me, not touching the money. So this year I'm hoping to really create a proper budget. So my 12th goal for this year is getting approved for a student loan. This is really centered for myself, but I am putting myself through college all by myself financially. That means no co-signers or anything. My parents will not co-sign for me. So hopefully by building my credit score back down in August, I will be able to get myself approved for a student loan all by myself, and I can finally start college, because that's the reason why I took my gap year. So that finishes my finances category. Most of it is just about saving money and building up credit and setting myself up financially for the future. Now that I'm 18, I do hold those responsibilities by myself. So my third category is habits. So for my first goal in habits, or my 13th goal overall, is developing a proper skincare routine. I've gotten into a pretty bad habit of like not washing my makeup off at night, or not just having a routine at all. So hopefully by developing a proper skincare routine that works for me and being consistent with it will help my skin clear up, because I do have some pretty strong issues with my skin regarding like eczema and things like that. So just finding out what works for me personally, and consistency is key for me this year. Consistency is key. So my 14th goal is staying on top of chores. Like, I am a pretty like low motivation person. Once I get home from work, I'm kind of just like, I just want to lay down, I just want to be done, and that honestly puts a dent in the way that I do chores and I take care of myself. My room is quite often a disaster, so making sure that I'm doing those chores daily and doing what I need to do to keep myself and just my place looking nice. So my 15th goal for this year is to eat cleaner. I eat a lot of fast food. It's a really bad habit. Unfortunately, my unhealthy habit and indulgence for myself is McDonald's. I love McDonald's. I love their chicken nuggets. They have a really good chicken deluxe sandwich, but it's not healthy for me, and it racks up financially. So eating cleaner and bringing my own lunch to work is definitely a goal for this year, because I need to stop buying McDonald's. That's so embarrassing. I love McDonald's. So my 16th one is daily journaling. I started journaling last year whenever a teacher of mine recommended it to me, and it really did help. It made me feel a lot happier. It was also nice seeing all of like my milestones like laid out in a journal, so I'm hoping to actually like properly start it, because I was daily journaling, I just stopped. So again, consistency is key with me this year. Being consistent with that daily journal, even if it's not much to say, if it's a line or two, but really journaling quite often. That's a goal of mine. So my 17th one is to keep track of things with a planner, keeping track of like my work schedule, when my credit card payments are due, whenever certain bills are coming in, things like that, making sure that I have that planner, and it doesn't have to be filled to the brim. Not everything has to be recorded every single day, but just making sure that like I have everything like set in a row to set up these healthy mindsets and these healthy habits for whenever I go back to school. So my 18th one is develop a proper sleep schedule. My sleep schedule is all over the place. I was up until 1 last night, and that is early for me. I'm typically up until like 3 or so in the morning. And then I sleep in really late, and it makes me not feel that great. It makes me feel like I wasted my day away, and then everyone that I know is asleep, and then I'm all sad and I'm laying in bed and I'm all by myself. So developing a proper sleep schedule also apparently has a lot of health benefits, so that is a big goal of mine, which leads into my 19th goal, waking up early. Waking up at like 10:30, it makes me feel like I wasted a ton of my day, where if I could wake up at like 7:30 or 8:30 in the morning consistently, hopefully that will develop in the morning, will allow me to do a lot more with my day, because I feel like I just wake up and then I go to work, and like a giant chunk of my day is just gone. So that's one of the reasons why I really want to develop a good sleep schedule and wake up early. So my 20th one is to read and study regularly. I love reading, I love learning languages, I love studying. It's just with work, I just haven't been doing it as much, and I fell into a really, really large reading slump in the last half of 2022. So hopefully, I need to stop saying hopefully, I will start reading regularly this year, and I do have some goals for reading and studying later. So that was my 20th habit, and that concludes my habits section. So social media is my 4th section. This one is a little bit more specific towards me, or I guess towards other content creators, and the way that I hope for social media to happen this year. My first one is to post regularly on YouTube. If you can't tell, if you look at my channel, I've only posted a few times, and I just haven't been doing it regularly. I have a ton of videos backed up on my camera and on my hard drive. I just never finish editing them or just finishing them overall. I kind of give myself the ick sometimes. So just posting regularly, being consistent with it, and actually doing something that I have been passionate in since I was 12. I mean, I started doing YouTube whenever I was 12, YouTube and Twitch. So doing YouTube and filming videos and editing them do make me happy. I just don't do them quite often, so posting more regularly is a very, very big goal of mine. It's one of my overarching ones for this year. My 22nd goal is to post on TikTok. I have a private account, much like everybody else. I post my little dancey dances and I have a good time, but posting on TikTok regarding to me as a creator and the kind of content that I want to share, whether it's books or it's sewing or just normal lifestyle content, I really want to start posting on there and, you know, maybe gain a following on there. My 23rd one is to work on my Etsy shop and promote it. I've had this idea for a year or so now, and I have all the concept art for it. I just never finished it. I kept telling myself I need an iPad, and I got the iPad, so there is no more pushing it off, lying to myself, saying that, oh well, like I'll do it in a bit, I'll do it in a bit, actually working on it and promoting it on platforms like here or on TikTok, to show off my art and things that I really do enjoy doing, and that I hope that there will be some people that will enjoy them and want to support that. So my 24th one is a lot like everybody else. You see those get ready with me's on TikTok and they're like, I blocked everyone I know. It's to stop caring what people think. One of the reasons why I don't post on YouTube so much is because I'm worried about what people will think, if people find my channel, or if people look at me while I'm filming and they think that I'm crazy. Not only that, but I care a lot about what people think in general. Even if it's just a stranger, I take a lot of validation in other people, and that's just not good for me. It's not good for anyone. It's not a healthy mindset to be in. You are a valid person and you are lovely on your own, and you don't need anyone's outwardly opinion to tell you what to think. And I can tell you from experience it's a lot harder said than done, but that's one thing that I am really hoping to do social media wise, is just to stop caring and just do something that I really truly enjoy and I have a passion for, which is YouTube. So my 25th one is to paint more and focus on art. I love painting and I love just creating art in general. I like drawing, I like painting, I like creating pens, just focusing on creative expressive routes to take with my emotions and just doing something that I enjoy. I kind of lost myself in the latter half of 2022, so just finding joy in those things that I know bring me happiness and continuing to do them. So my 26th one is, if I have the time, I'm not going to really hold this one against myself because I don't have the greatest PC, but if I have the time and if specs allow, I really do want to start streaming on Twitch. I have a lot more hobbies than just the ones that I share on YouTube. I really enjoy gaming, so if any of you guys are interested in that kind of content, Animal Crossing or The Sims or just like Don't Starve, things like that, those are some of my favorite games and I really love to play them, and sharing them on a platform like Twitch I would really enjoy doing. So if I can, start streaming on Twitch is a goal of mine, which concludes my social media section. So my biggest section for this year is my life section, which is a little bit more focused towards me. Some of them are bigger goals and some of them are smaller, kind of mundane goals that you wouldn't really think about, but just creating some like basic plans of knowing where I started this year and knowing where I ended it. So yeah, welcome to my life section. It's gonna get a little personal. 27th is prioritizing my mental and physical health. I've had some physical issues within the last few weeks, physical health issues that I really want to focus on prioritizing and not pushing towards the side, along with my mental health. A lot like other people, my mental health really tanked in 2022. Towards the end of it, I finally was able to pull myself out, and it's not the greatest mindset to be in. So prioritizing my mental and physical health over anything else is a giant goal for me this year. My 28th goal, getting a new car. I drive a 2007 Mitsubishi Galant. It is falling apart on me. I've had to replace the transmission and the brakes and my AC and my starter and just so many things going wrong with it. I'm finally at the point where I'm about to go to college, and I've had the car for 2 years, 2.5, almost 3, I think, somewhere around there. So, you know, just I'm working on 19, and I got the car whenever I was in the later half of my 16, so just getting a new car, it's about time. So my 29th one is finish my TBR. I have a really long list of TBR. I have a TBR on my phone, I have a TBR on my iPad, and I have a TBR of actual physical books I have in my room that I just never finished, I never read, and the list just keeps growing. So finishing that TBR, at least my current one, is a very big goal of mine this year. And then on top of that, to kind of coincide with that, is reading 5 books a month. That is my reading goal for this year. I think it's attainable, but reading 5 books a month is my reading goal for this year. My 30th one is finishing my college apps and getting into college. Obviously not all of this is something that I can control. I can control my college apps. I keep kind of pushing them off, but now is the deadline. I gotta go. But getting into college is not something I can control, but it is a goal of mine that I've had since I was a little kid, and being able to go to college is my biggest goal for 2022. My 31st goal goes right hand in hand, starting school. Getting back into school. I was supposed to go to school this fall in 2022. Unfortunately, finances just did not allow me to do that. So making sure that I am sound enough and that I can start going to school again. My 32nd goal also kind of coincides with that and completely coincides with my fitness section, is to start cheering for school. You have to be really fit to do collegiate cheerleading. some people don't think that it's a sport, but I can tell you it is very, very intensive and grueling on your body, and I really want to get myself back into shape to begin cheering, because it is something that brings me so much joy, and I love the atmosphere of it all. I love games, I love, you know, riling up the crowds, and just supporting the players overall. My 33rd goal is focusing on maintaining relationships and communication. I have some really unhealthy communication habits. I tend to shut down. I tend to block people out. But rather than focusing on outwardly putting myself out and making new friends, but definitely to maintain the ones that I already have and keeping those that I know and I love close to me by staying healthy with those relationships. My 34th goal is being happy and focusing on what does make me happy. A lot of my goals are focused around doing things that do make me happy, because unfortunately I just didn't do that last year, and I think that was one of the things that contributed to me not doing well mentally last year, was just not doing things that did bring me joy, and finding what things do make me joy and consistently doing those is a big goal of mine this year, because I think that while I do have big goals financially, I think that finding joy in the small things and definitely maintaining that is a very big goal. If you don't allow yourself the guilty pleasures in life, you will definitely go a little insane. So my 35th one is starting the study abroad process. As I get into school, one of my biggest goals and one of my biggest contributors into choosing a school is their study abroad programs. So choosing and starting that study abroad process is one of my biggest goals. I keep saying it's one of my biggest goals. It is a big goal for me. I've wanted to study abroad for the past 5 years now, so getting that ball rolling and making sure that it is something that I can do while I'm in college is a goal for mine this year. My 36th one is treating my mom once a month. My mom does so much for me. I mean, I'm living in my house. She pays the rent. She pays my car insurance. Not for long. She does a lot for me, and just making sure that she's being taken care of and she's being treated is a goal of mine. One of my life goals is to provide for my family, and just being able to treat my mom even once a month is something that I have a goal for 2022. My 37th goal is starting my small business. I've had this idea for over a year. I have all the plans. It's really just taking that leap and that step of doing it. My 38th goal is very personal to me. I have a condition called trichotillomania. It causes impulsive, uncontrollable desires to pull my hair out. More so focusing on the ends of my hair where I have split ends and things like that, and it keeps me from having my hair growing. So I have pieces of my hair that are much shorter than the rest. So a very big goal of mine is to work on easing myself out. Obviously it's a mental health condition, and it takes more than just that, but just working and definitely striving on making big improvements in that. And at the start of 2022, my hair was cut at the bottom of my ear. So growing out my hair and making sure that it is healthy and maintained is a very big goal of mine, and he's so saying big goal. It is a goal of mine for 2023. The 39th goal is not something that I can control per se. It is kind of, but like it's not fully in my hands, but it is such a big goal of mine. It is to see Taylor Swift live in the Eras Tour. I don't know if I'll post a vlog, but I have a vlog of me messing with Ticketmaster, and if you're a fan of Taylor Swift, you know the debacle that went down, and even if you're not, you probably heard about the mess that we had with Ticketmaster. Unfortunately, I did not get tickets to see Taylor Swift in general sale since they canceled it, or in Capital One pre-sale, so hopefully I get to see Taylor Swift live this year. My 40th one is to fill up a film camera once a month. I want to have a photo album at the end of the year, kind of just looking back on all the things that I did and all the fun experiences I had on film, because I really enjoyed the look of film. So being able to fill up a film camera once a month, that's going to be one of my monthly expenses, is one of those film cameras. And not like, I don't have to do something big for it to be documented. I can just do something small and I can take pictures of it. is something that I want to learn and I want to do this year. My 41st goal is making my room mine, making it feel like it is a place that I want to be in all the time, because currently it kind of, I'm working on it, but it doesn't feel necessarily like me anymore. I did move into this room in 2019. It is now 2023. So my style has definitely changed a lot in the things that I'm interested in. So making my room mine. The 42nd, I seamstress on the side. I really enjoy it. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of money. One of my favorite things to do is ball gown creations. So a goal of mine is to finish a ball gown and be completely happy. I mean, obviously I'll have improvements, but being happy where it is and be willing to take it out and take photos in it, things like that. My 43rd one is properly preparing for my dorm financially. I have lots of dorm items already that I got for my birthday last year, and then also just things that I'm taking from this room and transferring them over, but definitely buying things over time instead of just splurging all at once, because oh my god, that could hurt your wallet and your credit score and your savings account. So just buying things over time and preparing for that big shift. My 44th goal is finding and becoming confident in myself, especially with content creation. You see a lot of people doing certain things, especially like the That Girl era and the Get Ready With Me kind of videos. There's nothing wrong with doing something that you enjoy, but I know that those aren't me, and I want to not do something that I see that is just trending and that I don't feel connected in, and finding myself that way, and also internally and peacefully, I would say spiritually, finding and becoming confident in who I am as a person. Going hand in hand with that is taking more photos and being confident in the way that I look. This is really personal, but me and my boyfriend started dating in April, and the only photos we have together are our prom photos. That was the night that we started dating, and my graduation photos. That's it. I don't take photos. I take selfies sometimes, much like everybody else, but I hate photos being taken of myself. So definitely becoming confident in me. There's nothing that I can do to change the way that I look, especially right now. And if plastic surgery is something that I want to look into doing in the future, just definitely finding confidence in who I am to determine if it's an outward expression that is looking back and hating the way that I look, or if it's truly something that I genuinely want to change. So definitely embracing the way that I look, because I am who I am, and there's nothing that I can do about that. And that finishes my life segment. A lot of them were quite personal. They were quite, they just kind of matched me. Hopefully maybe you will align with some of those as well, and they give you a good idea for your life portion of your goals for 2023. But on to the last segment, which is languages. So my 46th goal is to better my Mandarin and to hopefully be able to make a vlog in Chinglish. Obviously I am not completely fluent in Mandarin, but I would very much so. One of my big goals, my biggest goal, is to be able to film a vlog. I won't be able to speak fully in Mandarin because I'm not fluent, but speak mostly in Mandarin. My 47th goal is to learn 2 new languages. It is Arabic and Italian. I will not become fluent overnight, and I definitely will not become fluent by the end of this year, but those are the 2 new languages that I want to take on, is Arabic and Italian. My 48th goal is specifically for Arabic, is at the end of the year I want to be able to read Arabic. I don't have to understand it necessarily, but definitely being able to read the language and look at it and kind of tell what's going on. That is my 48th goal. So my 49th goal is being able to hold a conversation in Thai and Italian. Those are my 2 specific goals. So for each of my main languages, I have a specific goal for them. So Mandarin is being able to make a vlog in Chinglish, Arabic is being able to read Arabic, and then for Thai and Italian is being able to hold a proper conversation. So those are my language goals. And that leads us to my last goal of 2023. This is the 50th goal, and this is probably the most important. So much like anyone else who struggles mentally with any sort of mental illness, or just, you know, you're having a hard time, this goal for this year, is called Don't Jump Myself. It's quite dark, but for anyone else who struggles mentally, it is a day-to-day struggle that we deal with, and learn how to tackle and overcome those struggles. So basically just taking life one step at a time, understanding that recovery is not a one-way street. It's not just straight. I do have a good photo example that I'll put up here. Recovery is quite a loop-de-loop. You have up days where you feel really, really great, and you have down days where you could slip. But just knowing that that is a thing, and not everything will be perfect, and to take everything one step at a time, and to not give up, and that eventually, no matter what state of life that you're in, things will get better. That's my biggest goal for 2023. Despite what I said, that is my biggest goal, is understanding and giving myself leniency, that recovery for anything is not lenient and is not straight, and it is lenient, and that there will be hard days, and just getting through them. So those were my goals for 2023. I hope that you enjoyed, and maybe you found some goals for yourself, or some New Year's resolutions that you could add to your list, or you just thought it was funny, or you thought that it was interesting seeing what other people have planned for this year, much like I do. So if you do enjoy this kind of content, or you like this video, definitely like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you guys more this year. Bye! Oh my gosh, guys, you weren't able to see, he finally joined under the table. Under the tree. He finally joined me under the tree. And he's staring at the camera string, and he probably wants to pounce on it.